Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
And I'm 13 years old. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs?
It all started when a 13-year-old Usher Raymond was sent to New York City to live with none other than Sean Diddy Combs. On the surface, this was pitched as a dream opportunity. A-Reed called it a flavor camp, a year-long immersion into the music industry, living with one of the most powerful men in entertainment. But beneath that glamorous cover was a much darker, far more troubling reality. In multiple interviews, Usher would later describe that time as confusing and overwhelming. He saw things, curious things, in his own words, that a child shouldn't have seen. He stayed up all night, surrounded by adults, at parties, in clubs, in Diddy's own home. He was in the mix with Biggie, Craig Mack, Lil Kim, icons of the 90s hip-hop scene. But he was also just a kid. So how did Usher go from a child star in development to a name tied to one of the music industry's darkest controversies? Recently, 50 Cent lit a match and dropped it right into Diddy's already crumbling legacy. He flat out accused Diddy of using his power to exploit young artists, specifically Usher. According to 50, what was sold to the public as mentorship was, behind the scenes, something far more sinister. Usher wasn't just mentored by Diddy, he was allegedly exposed to adult environments and even handed off to other men in the industry. In 50's words, this wasn't just negligence, it was a setup, a system. Jaguar Wright, another outspoken voice, went further. She claimed that Usher was intentionally groomed and later played a role in introducing Justin Bieber into that same world. Wright believes Usher didn't just survive the system, he may have helped keep it running. She suggested that Usher, knowingly or unknowingly, brought Bieber into Diddy's circle, despite knowing firsthand how damaging that experience could be. Then there's Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, who was there, who saw it all, who now says Diddy sent Usher to the hospital, allegedly due to something that happened under his roof. Gene was ordered to stand down, not to interfere. And even now, decades later, he carries the weight of that silence. Gene remembers specific moments, parties at the Swiss Hotel, situations involving multiple adults, and young Usher being present. He claims Usher walked into rooms where things were happening no minor should ever witness, and in some cases, allegedly participated, perhaps not understanding, perhaps pressured, perhaps simply conditioned. In one haunting interview, Gene asked a question that cuts through all the noise. How do you praise a man you'd never send your own son to? Because when Usher was asked if he'd send his own kid to Diddy's camp, he said flat out, absolutely not. No hesitation. But he never explained why. And now, people are putting the pieces together. The music industry, especially in the 90s and early 2000s, had its secrets. It still does. But as lawsuits mount against Diddy and his former associates, those secrets are leaking out fast. Cassie Ventura's lawsuit alleged abuse, control, and manipulation. And insiders now say that the same tactics used on her were also used on Usher when he was just a teen. People are now openly discussing what many have whispered for years. Diddy allegedly filmed everything behind closed doors, at private parties, with people who may not have known they were being recorded. That footage, some believe, was used as leverage to silence, to blackmail, to control. So why has Usher stayed quiet? Some say shame, others say trauma, but many believe fear played the biggest role. The fear of being exposed, of being blackballed, of having his career and life destroyed. When the man who mentored you has the keys to your success and potentially damaging footage in his possession, The cost of speaking up may be too high. Yet, even in silence, the truth leaks out. Usher has dropped hints over the years, calling that time in New York wild, confusing, and saying he didn't fully understand what he was witnessing. But he always stopped short of naming names or giving details. Until now, his story has remained a carefully curated success narrative. But with every testimony, every resurfaced clip, and every lawsuit, that narrative is being rewritten. Not by Usher, but by those who saw what he went through and can no longer stay silent. And this isn't just about Usher. It's about every young artist who came through that system, who was promised fame but paid with something else: their innocence, their silence, their trauma. So, where does this go from here? Will Usher ever speak out? Will he confirm what so many insiders now claim as fact? Or will he, like so many before him, carry the weight quietly while the public tries to read between the lines? One thing is certain: the days of ignoring this story are over. The court of public opinion is wide awake, and they want answers. If you made it this far, drop a comment below. Do you think Usher will ever speak out? Do you think more artists will come forward? And what do you think really happened behind the scenes? Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss the next update. This story is far from over, and we're just getting started.